Joining us now is a good friend of mine and a guy who works, always worked from the Jimmy Kimmel Show, Jimmy Kimmel Live. Now he's a spokesman for FightClub.com. It's a fantasy sports game where you go online, pick 5 players from the games of the day. This is college. And add up their points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals. The user with the best statistical results that day wins real cash prizes. Cousin Sal, what's up, man?
What's happening, Artie? Thanks for having me.
Anytime, buddy. Sal, you were one of those guys where I can remember, and this is rare, I can remember the first 2 words you ever said to me. By the time we met, you had already, known me from the Stern Show, of course, and through Jimmy, and you knew that I was a big time gambler. And I came out to do Jimmy's show, and it was right around March Madness, and the games were about to start. And the first 2 things you said to me, 2 words that came out of your mouth, you said, Memphis State. That was your pick of the week. You said, Memphis State. And then, from there, you just have a kinship,
That's it. I think I gave you a winner, and that might have been the last winner I gave out.
That was a winner. No, you know why? Because I heard about it because it won, and the next week, I talked to you or something on the phone. Did you take Memphis State? I'm like, no, I should have.
Right.
Well, thank you for that. So,
you got it, buddy. Yeah.
How's everything going, man? The show's great. You guys are at 11:30, and it's fun, right?
Everything's great. I mean, we're hanging in there. I don't know. I wasn't positive that we'd be in the game this early on, but it's good. We're hanging with the big guys, and I don't know. We regularly kind of come in second. His idol is David Letterman, so it's a weird thing. It's when we beat him, it's like he's holding the pillow over his face with tears rolling down. It's good to be in. It really is.
Well, no, I mean, listen, you guys are great. The show's been great from the beginning, I think. It's always been, Jimmy's just awesome at that job. And you guys, it does, because you are family, it's a sense of family. You lost Uncle Frank, which sucks. He was one of the best human beings I ever met in my life, Uncle Frank, man.
He loved you, too.
Yeah. And but you guys moved on. And it is weird. It's so hard. I've done the Letterman show a dozen times. And I remember watching Letterman in the old days when he talked to Richard Lewis and stuff like that. And you seem like they had a good camaraderie because they were friends. And people say to me all the time, what do you like doing better, Letterman or something like Jimmy Kimmel? And I say, well, Letterman is way more pressure because it's Letterman. He's an idol of mine. You just want to make him laugh. And if it goes good, it's in spite of all this pressure. With Jimmy, it always goes great because I feel I have that kind of rapport with Jimmy that friends of Letterman used to have in the old days. We're buddies, and we do nothing but laugh, and I think that comes across to the audience, and Jimmy's so perfect for it. And then you got guys on the periphery like you who I know. It's just more fun to do, and I mean, you've been doing it 12 years. I think there's no reason to think you guys are going to just stay on as long as you want to stay on, right?
Yeah, well, it was always scary with the Conan thing, and I still don't know what happened there. I kind of think I know what happened, but there's a lot of uncertainty with that. But I mean, we stayed on, and like I said, I mean, Jimmy is such a big Letterman that the first time he went on Letterman, he put a giant tattoo of Dave on his chest. I mean, it took like 6 hours to do, and then he went on and he was bumped for like 3 months. So,
that's great.
I think he might have left the tattoo on for the next 90 days until he was on again. But it's surreal, the whole thing.
It is odd. Letterman nowadays does look. He looks. I hate to say this because again, he's an idol of mine too. He looks old. He looks like he's getting old finally, and he always kept himself in shape. But I tell you, once you have open heart surgery, man, and I think Bill Clinton looks like this a little bit. You lose a lot of your life, a lot of your vigor a little bit, and it seems like he's graying and he seems old now. But
they don't let him bang the interns anymore, Bill and Dave. I mean, that's going to take its toll.
Honestly, that absolutely takes its toll. I mean, come on, let the guy bang an intern here and there.
Right.
I mean, look the other way. That's the problem with nowadays, isn't it, Sal? Nobody looks the other way. Everybody tapes something. Everybody's got you on their cell phone. Everybody's blackmailing everybody,
Oh, yeah, we can believe me. Jimmy's getting married. We're trying to plan his bachelor party, and we're looking to go to a land that has no cellular service or anything. It's impossible.
Yeah. I was going to say. So Jimmy's he's marrying Molly, huh?
He's marrying Molly in July. So that'll be good.
That's fantastic. I got to call. I got to give him a call. I didn't know that. And so you're trying to find a place. That's great. You're trying to find a place where there's no cell service for the bachelor party.
I mean, it's going to be fine, but really, like you said, with the TMZ and everything, anywhere you turn, someone's got the light in their face. So
yeah.
I don't know.
But Jimmy doesn't seem like. Now, are you planning it? Who's the best man?
Yeah, well, it's me and his brother, and we're splitting the responsibility. We're both I guess the best men, and his son. So
now, so Jimmy's son's, so it's gonna be more of a family thing. It's not gonna be like debauchery then.
Well, it's somewhere between family and debauchery, but we're more on the family side. I don't want to get quoted because then his old lady will be in tears for the next 6 weeks.
But, yeah. That's a lot of. So I would assume you're going to handle the debauchery side.
That's right. That's right. I'm all over the debauchery. So my debauchery is stupid. It's all gambling and Kahlua and cream.
No, you're right. I mean, when I was doing a lot of degenerate gambling, people would get on me about the gambling, and I'd say, guys, this is better than me going out like smoking meth with a chick and accidentally killing her. I'm just putting a bet down on a blackjack.
Right.
It could be way worse.
It really is the best. Do you think you could be? Now you quit altogether, right?
I quit everything. Yeah, because they say that it leads to other things. If you put it and I kind of feel they have a point. Like I have shrinks who think about me, Sal, where if I put down a $5 bet on roulette tonight at 8 o'clock, by tomorrow at noon I'd be running guns to Cuba. Like that's what they think.
Wow. Do you believe that to be true?
Maybe not Cuba, maybe Mexico. No, I think it might lead to other things. Yeah, because the adrenaline, when you win, the adrenaline gets going, and you want to keep it going, and you might want to get high. If you lose, you want to bathe in that depression of losing, and you might want to get drunk. So I don't know. Maybe they have a point with me, but
I guess so. I have so many barriers. I don't even know. There's a story. I used to help Jimmy. I would pick the games because I'd watch all the football games. So when he was doing the Fox pregame show, he'd have to pick all the games, and then Howie and Terry and Jimmy Johnson would comment and everything. Now he got under Howie Long's skin one year, and to a point where they really wanted to fire him. Like Jimmy said something about his hair and his wife, and it got bad. And he showed a picture of Howie looking at Britney Spears' ass, and it really escalated. So we thought this was the last year, and Jimmy's like, you know what? I think I'm going to be fired. And the Rams were playing the Patriots. You remember that Super Bowl? They weren't the Patriots that we know back then. They were like a 13-point underdog. And I told Jimmy, I said, listen, if you're going to get fired, just take the Patriots to win. He wasn't picking against the spread. He only had to pick the games to win because it was network. So he's like, all right. So I think you look like a hero. So he takes the Patriots. We're at the game in New Orleans. Vince Aaron kicks it through the uprights. Perfect field goal. He's jumping up and down. He looks at me. He said, why aren't you happy? I said, I had 11 grand on the Rams money line.
Exactly, but you see, those are the things about gambling tends to isolate you from everyone else in the room.
Right.
I talk about in stand-up how sometimes I'll bet on the coin toss before the Super Bowl, and if you're at a party with people who aren't degenerates, no one's watching the coin toss because it's not the game yet. But and sometimes you're down $2,000 before the kickoff, and these people are talking about the wine or what kind of cheese they got, or their kids are there jumping around, and out of nowhere you hear somebody scream like, damn it, like you want to, and like, what is that? And like, you got to bet on the coin toss.
I need an instant fix. I was like you, so March Madness, you go to the casinos and the sports books they'd have a prop where you could bet the first team to 10 points.
Right,
so,
right.
Like Kentucky is playing like Appalachian State, you have to lay like $4 to win $1, even to 10 points. And no matter who you took, it was always 9-8, and you had 8, and you had the ball. And I'm screaming my head off in the first 3 minutes. I mean, you would have thought there was a murder committed. And people looking at me like, Jesus Christ, is he going to keep this pace up for the whole game? But and as soon as the team hit 10, I was out of there. So it's a confusing thing.
See, that's why, you see, like I would go through that at the Mirage Sports Book when I would go there. And people would say, as far as the pace, yeah, I could keep up the pace by doing coke. Like I would stay up for 4 straight days at that pace, screaming and yelling. So that's why it's bad for me. But so explain what you got here with FightClub.com. What is this?
Well, I know you don't like fantasy football. You like Corolla and everything. It's not manly enough for you, right? Fantasy sports.
Well, no, it's not that. It's like to me, it's people who are afraid to bet with a bookie. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like people who go watch the movie Charlie's Angels who are afraid to rent porn. You know, it's like just get porn. Like I hate when people say, "Oh, Cameron Diaz is hot." Well, just get porn. You know, and everything will be fine. But so I have a lot of friends who do it. They love it. But this is a version for college hoops.
Well, this is like my porn. Yeah, we launched Thursday, so it's going to be college hoops, and then every day after it'll be NBA will incorporate everything. But basically, you know, so the thing with fantasy that sucks for me is it's all year long. You have to worry about injuries. You got your knucklehead friends offering you, like, they want Adrian Peterson from you, and they're going to offer you 5 crappy guys, you know, and you have to deal with that all the time. This is just very, very pure, very legal. You pick 5 players who are playing that day. The other guy picks 5, and you could I don't want to say bet, but you could play between $200 and $500.
Right.
And whoever has the most points, rebounds, they add up all the stats. Whoever has the most wins, and then you play the next day or whatever. So it's nice. It's nice and clean. You're in, you're out. That's what I like about it.
Yeah, it's not a long-term commitment.
Right, exactly.
You know, because that's college. Fantasy football with the pros. You got guys who literally will go home early on a Saturday night. Like, I mean, you know, now it doesn't matter. I'm 45 years old, but you get 22-year-old kids who are, you know, talking abroad somewhere on a Saturday night. They'll go home early and stop talking to a chick where they might have a shot of getting laid because they got to go get up at 7 a.m. the next day to pick their team.
It's really stupid. You know, I would do it by hand. I would run a league like 25 years ago. And, you know, living in New York, you watch the Monday night game, you wouldn't get the stats in the Daily News till Wednesday morning. So
right.
your game would be up in the air. So I got the whole, like, the Daily News, the sports editor's phone, and somehow I got his home number. And I called him because it was a close game, and I said, listen, I just need, he's like, how did you get me? What is this? I was like, just tell me, how many yards did Hayward Jeffries have today? So, Jesus Christ, 77. I'm like, okay. Hey, did he run the ball at all? The guy was hanging out. I had like threats. They were going to call the cops. But, yeah, I was insane about it even back then.
Yeah. Remember the old days where you had to wait a long time to get results for something? You would be tortured. You know what happened? You had to know someone who was at the game.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, real quick, explain that practical joke you played on Jeff Ross during Dancing with the Stars. This is one of my favorite things ever.
The wounds have just been covered. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, Jeff was on Dancing with the Stars, and he was falling in love with his partner, Edita. And, you know, like, we were all like, how is this happening? Like, you know, this the insult genius is all of a sudden melting. But so he was on the first week. He got a combined score of 13, which is from the judges, which is the lowest score ever attained on that show. And to add insult to injury, his partner poked him in the eye. I don't know if it's by accident or on purpose by the end, but he was forced to wear like a pirate's patch over his eye. So it was really looking bad for him. Now, the loser of Dancing with the Stars comes on Kimmel like an hour after their exit. So he thinks I have some inside information as to whether he's going to be on the show or not. So I text him. I say, you're safe. And he says, are you sure? I said, yep, definitely. So now it's down to, they pick a bottom two and they build the drama. So it's Jeff and Kim Kardashian. And you can actually see his face. Like, he's like nudging his partner, like, don't worry, it's going to be fine. And the spotlight's on both of them. And he's like smiling through it. And all of a sudden they say, going home this week, Jeff and Edita, and his face drops, and they don't. And you know, Jeff, he has like 21 liners set in his pocket for an event like this, except that he thought he was advancing. So they basically stick the mic in his face, and he has nothing to say. And I texted him, and I said, well, I think I fucked up. I'm sorry, buddy. And he didn't talk to me for 6 months after that.